So I'm going to give some awards out to the 505 crew, and then I'm going to let Mike and Tom do some of the 610. So I give a bunch of awards, so I can't promise I'll keep it quick, but I'll try my best. So every year, this is a customary award, is no matter if you joined with a friend or a family, someone that you're close to, or you just happen to show up not knowing anyone, you develop some kind of relationship with people in the box. Like I said, whether it's you brought them with you, or you just make that connection when you get here. And sometimes you really fall in love with the person that you come to know. And by love, it doesn't mean significant other, or it has to be the opposite sex. So we've had times where it's been dynamic duos that are guys together, girls together, guy, girl. So just when you see them, more or less, you see that they're always together. No matter what, they're laughing in the corner, they're doing something, working out together. It's like you know that if this person's here, this person's right next to them. And I think there's a bunch of that goes on here. You have that kind of real close person you have that camaraderie with. And this year's dynamic duo goes to Milly and Jacqueline. Or that I give out every year. When people start the box, they have something they're working on, whether it's physique, whether it's mental, whether it's their diet, whatever the case may be. I think everyone in here has some kind of element that we're trying to work on when we come here every day. And it's just chipping away little by little by little. Sometimes the progress doesn't happen as fast as we would like it. We want to rush it. But if you just stay true and trust the process, like I say, you start to see that what you've been working on really starts to come together. And that only takes consistency, effort, determination, and all those kind of pieces of the puzzle have to come together. And an award I give every year is the most redefined. So this is an individual who you could maybe clearly see, all right, yeah, they've lost a bunch of weight. You know, that's usually what you'd see out of someone who's getting most redefined, or wasn't in the best shape, and now you can really start to see the muscles and come out and so on and so forth. But I feel like this individual is most redefined, not necessarily only because of her physical attributes, but because of the mental struggle that we have went through together. She's been with me for a long time, and I feel like we're finally at the point where we've got over a hurdle that we haven't been able to quite master yet. And I think we're well on our way to getting there. And this year's most redefined is Jodi. We'll keep it in the family with our next award. And he has definitely, so when I gave my speech earlier about you really got to work hard to get an award and do something that really stands out. This individual through the years has made himself stand out in some sort of way. And we always joke with him. He actually is celebrating his 3-year anniversary today. So that's why we're doing this. This is all for him. And that's Ryan McSpadden. I didn't give an award out yet, so you can't clap. I didn't give an award out, but you can clap for the anniversary. He is usually known for always starting the workout a little bit premature. Right? He's known, he is the most ridiculous assault bike rider, whatever you want to call it, in the box that I've ever met. And that's not his award either. But he's also known for cheating his reps. So if you want to watch someone who has no care about an actual rep, that's your man. We have a word to represent his lack of full range of motion when he does an exercise. So he has definitely worked his way to get an award, and he keeps chipping away every year to get something. This year is actually a nice award I'm going to give him. If you haven't noticed, he has come a long way. He's also, I think, one of the redefined individuals as well. He looks pretty damn good, if I will say so myself. And the reason is because he has been to the box more this year than anybody else. So for the award of best attendance goes to Ryan. Awards. This individual, I think everyone hands down would agree with everything I have to say. There's some people that come into the box and they light up the room, and they're individuals that no matter who you are, you get along with this individual, you like this person. You're like, wow, she is really awesome, no matter what. I have never heard her say anything incriminating or bad about anybody. Even her significant other, which we all have something bad to say about. And when she gets the award, you'll know who I'm talking about. We all have something bad to say, but she will never go down to our level and co-sign anything that we have to say. She's always sticking up for whoever, whenever, and she usually always gets a good award, because how can I give her a bad award? And I'm happy she's a part of the box. She has been one of the most dedicated individuals that we've had here. She also had just sustained an injury. You can follow her on Instagram, Isabella Fitness. Her journey back to triumph. And it's gonna take her a while to get down here. So, the work, I didn't know how to quite word it, but I just said, you know what? She's just simply the best. And that's Jess P. All right, next award. We have a bunch of individuals, Rich alluded to earlier, as Justin was one of those individuals who, they come, look at the board, and they're deciding, what am I not gonna do here? What can I have to figure out to throw in, because I'm not gonna do the work as prescribed? Sometimes because there's an injury, sometimes it's just like, I'm just not gonna do that. So what can I do instead? That's a common question out of this individual. I'm gonna do this instead, I'm gonna do this instead. And you know, I'm just like, all right, whatever you wanna do. That's the luxury of CrossFit. You can do whatever you want. And she takes that seriously and does whatever she wants on a regular basis. And then we have some individuals who RX no matter what. And I'm like, you shouldn't be RXing. This is a situation where maybe we should modify what we're doing. So there's people who go crazy on one end, and there's people who go crazy on the other end. People who scale everything, and someone who RXs everything. So this award is going to go to someone most likely to do the prescribed workout, and that's a psych, because Brittany never does the prescribed workout. So Brittany, get on down here. All right, my last one before I pass the mic, and then I'll be back later. There's a whole bunch of different personalities that you have come through the box. Some people come in low-key, don't say a word to anybody. Not that they're mean, they just, whatever. They're in their own zone, they're doing their thing, and you're like, all right, that person really doesn't say much. I'll just let him or her be, whatever, by themselves. Some people, you can't get them to shut up. They're talking all the time. Whether it's the coach trying to instruct the class, whether it's in the middle of the workout, no matter where you are, once you know that you've latched into conversation, it's gonna be tough to get out of it. And we have a bunch of those people here. It's like, damn, I can't do that today. I just can't dedicate this much time of my life for the conversation. And then you have, like I said, the opposite end of the spectrum where you wish you got something from them. Psych awards are kind of hard, but this individual, when you hear it, you're gonna know that once you get into conversation, you're not getting out. Good luck, take a deep breath, and just ride it out. So the psych award for most quiet is Willy. I'm sure he has a speech prepared. In CrossFit, mobility is a huge thing. A lot of people get so frustrated that they can't do a movement, whether it's an overhead squat, whether it's a snatch, pull up, toes to bar, whatever the case may be. People get so caught up and frustrated in the movement and don't understand, well, maybe it's the mobility. Maybe when you squat, your knees are caving in, you're rounded because the mobility isn't there. And on the other side of that, when your mobility is awesome, you're like, how the hell is she getting down like that? Or how the hell is he doing what he's doing? So mobility plays a huge role in CrossFit and in exercise in general. And if you have the pleasure of being in class with him, awesome guy, amazing, always great energy, and he's a consistent athlete at the 505 class. But he has got to have the worst mobility I've ever seen. And he will be the first to, he already knows who it is. Well, obviously it's a giveaway because he's at my class at 505 all the time. But if you ever have the chance to see him do something, it's magical. How he even can get into the positions he does with the lack of mobility he has. But as I heard someone say, he rope climbs like with the best of them. And the Best Mobility Psych Award goes to Thomas C. There's the majority of the athletes that are here have been here with me for at least 2 years or higher. There's a real large proportion of that. I was really shocked when I did the math and looked at what are people's consistency, how long have people been around, and a lot of people stick it out. A lot of people are here for a long time. And there's some individuals who have been with me since I started back at the high school before it was actually a thing. It was just us going into the high school where I worked still and throwing some weight around, doing some craziness. And you may know these individuals who have been with me for a long time because they're always here, and there's some individuals who have been with me that you would never even know were with me for 4 or 5 years. They kind of just go under the radar, they don't say much, they come do their thing, they might take a month off here or there, but if you've been with me long enough, you know that if you're not here for a certain period of time, you get the text, where are you at, what are you doing, we need to get back in here. And the sole reason that he's still here is because I did that for years. Where are you? You need to get in here, and he'll be honest and tell me that. And I had to work to get his, well, luckily he's here today because I had to put some pressure on to get him here. And we also had to have his wife join up, so he would actually be forced to come to these things. And in the 5 years that he has been with me, this is the first time I'm seeing him in a function that's not just a class. First time in 5 years. So his award is, most likely to not want an award, is Mike P. I'll stretch here. It's actually moving along faster than usual. That's a good thing, I guess. So we have a few left, and I want to go back to where I started and talking about how you have these individuals who just mix so well together. Individuals that you see, they're passionate, they're working out together, they have great communication, they're just on the same page. So there's really not much else I can say, because I've already exhausted it in my Milly and Jacqueline presentation about that dynamic duos. But they take it to the next level. They're not just teammates here, they're not just duos here. They take that and do competitions together, and I've only really seen them do competitions together. And they're also known for having one of the best team names around, and I think they already know who they are. And I guess it's appropriate to say, what do horses eat? Tom and Rich are best teammates, not Alex. Usually, this award, I make sure she gets an award that is something that's insulting. Usually that's one of my main prerogatives with her. I always bust her chops. It's always a good give and take. She's always able to take whatever I say in stride, never gets upset about anything I do or say. She just yes bends me, and that's it. However, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna let her know that I appreciate her and everything she does. As you can imagine, the reason this works the way it does, the reason that Cross the Cerebral is what it is in large part, 90% because of the awesome trainers that we have. If we didn't have Kev, Rich, Tom, Mike, Alex, the whole crew, we wouldn't have the community that we now have. If you didn't have some individual that was standing up there that didn't care about you guys, you would not feel the passion that you get when you walk in here. And you wouldn't leave here wanting to tell your friends, you need to come and experience what we have and what we have going on here. And on my level, I need them so much behind the scenes at things that you guys don't see. Amanda does an amazing job, as most of you who have joined within the last year or so, to say, here Amanda, you're gonna go work with someone who has no clue what CrossFit is. That's probably the most mind-numbing experience that you can have, is taking individuals who have zero clue about how to move and doing a snatch, a clean. It's like just banging your head on the wall. She does it, great attitude. No one has ever said that they haven't had a great experience with her. And no matter what I need, business end, cover a class, do this, do that, she takes all the phone calls now that anyone comes through on Cross the Cerebral. She takes all the emails. She's basically the person who runs this behind the scenes that not everyone gets to see. So for the most dependable, that is Amanda. Really not much backstory to this, and I can't really fluff it up like I do some of the other awards. In general, going along with the coach's theme and being dependable, we need each other constantly for whatever the reason may be. We have a chat that we're always communicating with each other, making sure we're on the same page, whether if it's something that is just a confusion of the WOD or someone needs their class covered. And only a handful of you would know this because you come to the 610 class. But Mike Fed, if you didn't know, always covers Tom's class. Tom W. had a little struggle, you know, lost his job a while back, hit the streets, trying to make money however he can. So he couldn't be here all the time. He had to do something a little bit more lucrative and he's always like, I need my class covered, I need my class covered. And Mike is like, I got you, I got you, I got you. So, I guess he's Tom's most dependable, but he's got the wrong mic award. There's a couple mics here in the house. Most likely to cover Tom's class, Mike Fed. Awards, I want to take time to talk about an individual that if you don't know already, I don't know how you don't, because he's always here, and he's one of those individuals where you know, hook, line, sinker, you made eye contact, now it's an hour conversation. And it might be too close for comfort, and there might be coffee coming out of the mouth, and, you know. Last year he had a nice award, and this year it's not happening. And so whether you take class with him, outgoing, nice guy, great guy. I've known him for a long time. He's really passionate about what he does, really passionate about being here, and it's given him this second life, right, I would say. If you have been unfortunate enough to engage in conversation, willingly or not, he always has a new theme. Like, so perfect example of someone who really works hard to get an award. His first year, he used to salsa all the time in class, so he got the salsa award. The next year, he was like most likely to talk too close to you award or coffee breath award, something mean, I forget what it was. Last year, he had a nice award. It was the person that I would most likely like to be like or most want to be like. And his new thing this year is like how the world is going to collapse. It's like, you better start buying gold, you better start buying silver, because the world's going to collapse. Here's the date, it's going to happen. The date comes, it got pushed back a couple weeks. It got pushed back. So it's been getting pushed back for a really, really long time now. I might regret that one day, yes. But the last time he's made his Nostradamus prediction, I told him you cannot talk about it anymore if it doesn't happen. So I don't know, I haven't heard it unless he just says it behind the scenes when I'm not around. But I'm sure he's still pushing the silver on the side when I'm not around. But he shouldn't be. So if you don't want to have this conversation with him, say, I'm going to tell Ben, because this is not allowed. Cannot be talking about this anymore. Because eventually he's going to be right. And then he's going to have the nerve to say, I told you. At some point, he's going to be right. And I hate that. He's going to be right at some point. But the award for most likely to pressure you into buying silver, my father. Athlete has been with me for, I think, about 3 years now. And there's not many athletes that I get to see actually grow and become a man, right? They come in as a teenager. Kev was one of the first individuals where I met, and Billy, where they were teenagers when we started. And I have seen them grow, and their lives have changed, and big things have happened for them over the last few years. And this is another individual who has come up the ranks and is very, very low-key. He doesn't say much, but when you look at him, you're like, he's grown. He's a growing boy. You know, he looks good. You know, he's growing into something here. He wasn't just skin, he's not just skin and bones anymore. And the limited amount of conversation that he has is amazing. So a lot of you maybe don't engage in conversation with him. He's shy, but he'll talk to you. He just doesn't know how to get the conversation going. So maybe we all need to be a little bit more What's the word I'm looking for?
Handsome.
Basically, maybe you guys need to put the effort in to say the hello. How you doing? Funny to see you here. Whatever it is, it's not going to be weird because I've been prepping him for this. I'm like, you just need to get in these awkward conversations. Like, yeah, what'd you think about the wad? And then we laugh and giggle together. And then he just goes in the corner and does what he does. But I'm hoping for the day that someone in here really says, you know what? He's a nice kid, got a great future ahead of him. He's handsome. He's building an amazing body, sculpting a body. He is known as the sweater. I get that. I guess I can get uncomfortable in certain situations. Take precaution. And I try to shout him out in reference to this award as much as possible because I've said nothing about this award. But some people in the room need to pay attention to this, that he is a bachelor, and he is the bachelor of the box. Zach, get down here, kid. Let's go, ladies. I got it. All right, here we go. Last award, but it's a threesome. We're all connected here on this one. This is the time where I usually talk about how much Kev has meant to me and the awesome journey that we have been through together from day one. He is one of my first athletes outside of Andy. Come to my first boot camp. He's another individual who started at 19 years old. If you want to see some creepy pictures of him looking like he's 12, I guess they're creepy because it's in the bathroom too. But look in the bathrooms, you'll see pictures of like, damn, that was Kev. Or any old picture, even from a year ago. He just exponentially grows year by year in how he looks. And yeah. And it's been an awesome journey together. And I tell him that if he wasn't by my side through it, I wouldn't have accomplished what I have in terms of the CrossFit competitions, and we've done competitions together. And for years, we always just coined him as my number two. Whatever it was, he was just number two. I guess it came because I would just beat him at everything, and he just became number two. And he had me maybe on running, but everything else, he was second to me. And then we were on fitness stores, we joke around, I'd hand out number two, I'd say who's potential suitor to take over for Kev. And no potential suitor has really come along. We've dabbled a little bit with some individuals. And Kev has had an array of awards from here, and a couple being that he was most handsome, and he also had my number two. He's not a bachelor anymore. He was previously, but anyway, I digress. So I think he's finally at the point. Last year, he would still force me to come out of retirement. I don't cross anymore. I'm not like these young kids. I'm too old for this. So I just do it for the cuts, the main motto of the box. And he still pressured me into doing competitions, because that's the only way that I have ever done a competition, is because he would say, you should do this competition. So he would drag me in and we'd do it. And we did pretty well together, I would say, whenever we competed. And I told him, like, yo, I don't want to do this with you anymore. Find someone else. We would actually be at competitions, and I would see someone who we knew mutually that was a good CrossFit, like, yo, be partners with Kev. I'm done. Like, he needs a new partner. Are you interested? And they wouldn't be interested because they have their own partners that they work with. So he, I guess for some reason, took me seriously. And this year, he doesn't ask me to even work out anymore. It's like the divide is growing between us. And here we have this guy, Alex, who shows up to the box and is good all of a sudden. He's handsome all of a sudden. All these great things are happening to him. And then I see just Kev slowly drifting away. And they work out together. They now win competitions together. It's like, hey, you see Alex and Kev? They're an awesome team. It's like, yeah, they're great. Really, really doing a good job. So it hurts to see that Kev is finally moving on. And I'm serious, because I do miss our workouts together. I miss everything that we had, but I have to accept the fact that he is moving on, and Alex is his new teammate. They're not the best teammates, because that's Tom and Rich. Let that be known. Okay. Anyway, so this is kind of a threesome award, right? Or foursome. There's a fourth person involved in this. So, Kev is moving on. Alex has since come into the picture, and now I'm looking for a number two, right? I'm looking for a number two to just hang out with me, do a couple wads here and there. We don't have to take it seriously. And this person suits that perfectly, because he does not come here at all anymore. So it's like now we can finally, I can have a number two that I'm comfortable with, and I don't have the pressure of doing competitions with, and we can just kind of hang out and call each other and do the things that maybe me and Kev don't do anymore. So in this foursome duo that we have here, Kevin wins the award of Most Likely to Leave the Nest award. Alex is going to win the award of Kev's number two. And Billy Kaminsky is my new number two.
Take off your shirts.
Oh, yeah. That's that ever.
That's Kev's.
Let's take our off. Yeah, no, we're good over here.